everyone, Dr. Victoria here with Tree of Life Chiropractic and my trusty sidekick,
Dr. Connor.
We're here today to start the next series that we have for you guys on stress. So during this series, we're going to be talking about how stress impacts all the different systems in your body. So for this short video, we're going to give you a quick overview of stress and the different forms and what that looks like. So you want to intro that?
Yeah, definitely. So really when we're looking at stress, we're looking at three different areas. The first one, you can kind of see we have another diagram here.
We didn't draw this one.
This one was printed out. So I'm going to bring it close, like always. You can see there's thoughts, traumas, and toxins. So those are what we call the 3 T's. So each one has specific things that add stress to your system, and when you have that stressed out system, it starts to create diseases, issues, so on and so forth. So starting out, let's go over some examples let's go with traumas first.
Okay,
what are some good
so
examples?
for traumas, I also like to think of trauma as a physical stress because that's exactly what it is. So different examples of what a physical stress could look like or a trauma would be birth trauma is the start because that's where life starts for all of us. So birth trauma is the biggest stress that we see regardless of how the baby was born, whether it was natural, water birth, the most spectacular labor and delivery ever, or the worst labor and delivery ever. There's still a good amount of stress that gets placed on that baby's spine. So that's the biggest trauma that I can think of. Do you want to give some other little examples, less intense
There
examples?
are some pretty intense sports injuries, slips and falls, car accidents, and then even sitting in place, working specifically during this time. We're doing a lot of work on the internet and things like that, which is, it's a smaller trauma, but it is a physical trauma and stress that's being added to the body.
Yeah, and another thing to caveat from that, those are mostly what we mentioned are, I guess you could think of them as bad physical stresses, but there's also good physical stress that we can take to our body as well, like exercise, running, walking, all the sports that we do to keep ourselves healthy. They're great for us, but they also can add physical stress, especially if you're doing them incorrectly. So that's just a little side note there.
So then the next one, let's go over the chemical stress. This one right here.
So chemical stress could be things like the food we're eating, all the different foods that we eat. That's why it's really important to eat more of a whole food diet, more plant-based diet if you can, just to limit the amount of toxins that you're taking in. You want to give some other examples?
There's also detergents, lotions, anything that you're putting on your skin, things like that. And then we do have a few cleaning products that we like to use that are lower on the spectrum of these toxins.
Yeah.
If you do have any questions on that, we're happy to answer those too.
Yeah. Chemical toxins also could include things like medications, even some supplements. Some people think that they're doing their body good by taking a great supplement, but sometimes those supplements aren't the highest quality. So that can definitely be a chemical toxin if it's not the best supplement for what your body needs to.
So then finally, we're going to go into thoughts or emotional stress. What's an example of that?
You're going to leave me with that one? Let's see. Maybe this huge thing that's going on right now known as the pandemic. I think that's a pretty big emotional stressor for all of us.
So, yeah.
But regardless of a pandemic going on, we all have different ways of emotional stress, how that comes up for us. It could be the loss of a loved one, a tough relationship breakup, a tough family relationship that you obviously can't get away from because it's your family.
Money stresses,
job stresses, just
anything you can think of.
Yeah. And then the big ones too, like anxiety and depression and those things that go a little bit deeper than just your normal everyday stress. And kids aren't immune to those things either. So definitely don't just think this is just for adults because kids can definitely be anxious and stressed and depressed. It's sad, but it's true. So.
Yeah. So as we go through this series, we're going to be diving deeper into specific organ systems, specific things that stress is going to start creating issues for. But if you're actually looking at the human body, it all works together, all as one. So even though we're going to be breaking it up, we still want you to think about your specific system or your specific body as a whole, working together to make it so that you are as healthy as possible. And as chiropractors, that's what we like to do, is we like to look at the systems as a whole and really understand how the nervous system and everything is functioning to allow your body to function as that perfect system that it's meant to be.
Yep, so stay tuned for our next video in this stress series. We're going to be diving deeper into how stress impacts the nervous system.
Our favorite.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys on that next video. Have a great day.
Yes.